Wandering through the great plains of life, things move fast, sometimes a blur. Don't you let this bumpy road separate you from the herd. And when you think the day is done, the sun is getting low, we're all looking for something rare, the great white buffalo. The Great White Buffalo Podcast with Ben Mayfield.
Her mom walked in, she was like, those are cute jeans. Chris walked in and said, those are cute jeans to Kendall. And Kendall goes, you're cute jeans. And Chris goes, those are my cute jeans. And Kendall goes, no, Mom, you are cute jeans.
So when you call people cute jeans is a compliment?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hey, you're cute jeans.
Thanks.
Like, that's what you say.
Well, I said it to you earlier.
Yeah. Not on mic, though. Not on camera. Let the people know.
They don't need to hear it.
Oh,
You're cute jeans.
Oh, thanks. Welcome to another episode of the Great White Buffalo Podcast, a.k.a. Cute Jeans. Maybe I'll just name the episode that.
Cute jeans.
Cute Jeans.
Okay.
We're on a two-person episode today. As you could tell, I had to shift the camera a little bit. Our third person, Nathan Dickens. Shout out to Nate. He's tired, apparently.
Where's he at?
He said, I'm tired. And he's
he
not
said it
here.
exactly like that. I know he
did. I was with him.
I know.
I was with him the last
I
2
saw.
hours. And I said, Nathan, like, we have to do a podcast. He was like, yeah, I could do it. We went and got Chinese food.
Oh, I so would have gone with y'all.
I know. I really should have invited you because I even thought about when we were there. I was like, last time we ate here, Sydney was with us. And then I was like, all right, but you know what? We're getting to go. So we went by the Wesley house to eat it real quick. I didn't even eat all of it.
First mistake. You should have just brought him back here.
I should have. Well, I was driving them, so I could have just kidnapped them.
Yeah.
Is it called kidnapping when they're not a kid? Abducting. I can't even say that.
Abducting.
Yeah, that word. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have abducted him to my house. And then we were eating, and I was like, okay, I didn't eat the whole stuff because I cannot do a podcast on a full stomach, but not an empty stomach either, somewhere in between.
Right.
And then he was like, I'm tired. I had to wake up before 9 a.m. today. I was like, ugh. And I know he doesn't listen to the podcast, even though he's on every episode, so I can just bash him as much as I want.
No, he won't say a word.
Yeah, do you have anything you want to bash him about?
I think he's pretty cool.
Oh, my
God. I know.
We're playing both sides right now. Off camera, you're like, let me tell you some things about Nathan. As soon as the camera's like, he is so wonderful, and he's a great Wesley director.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to another episode of the Great White Buffalo Podcast. To my left is the wonderful, the talented, the creative. I'm just kidding. You're talented. Sydney Smith. How are you, Sydney?
I'm good. How are you?
I do need to give you some shout outs.
Oh.
I was the other day. I have my normal people who will say like, "Hey, that was a good episode. That was a good episode." I'm like, "All right, cool, thank you." Like, I need a little bit of affirmation. I appreciate people who take the time to say something.
Yeah.
But I had like 4 people that I could name. I'm not going to because I don't think they would want me to say their names. Who don't normally like kind of tell me stuff, and they're like, "The Sydney Garrett episode was really good." I'll give you one of them. Caleb Nunley said something.
Caleb!
Shout out to Caleb Nunley.
Way.
And then, dude, and Caleb was like, so he listened to our episode because he saw that you were on it.
Okay.
And then he also saw that,
say?
and Garrett and him rode together on the mission
Right.
trip. So he was like, I got to listen to this episode. So he's listening to it. He said, I want to skip around and see if I find parts that I like. And I was like, okay, well, or just listen to the whole episode,
Right.
Caleb. Like, why wouldn't you do that? And he said, I started hearing the story about the girlfriend update.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I was caught into it. And I was like, but I didn't hear the original story.
So he had to go back.
But he didn't know where it was. So he started listening to like random episodes.
Oh my god.
He said, I listened to like 7 hours trying to find a 30-minute story.
Yeah.
And he found it eventually and was like, it was worth it. It was worth it. So it was cool.
Good.
So Caleb, shout out. But he loved your podcasting abilities.
I love Caleb. I think we bonded a lot on the mission trip.
Oh gosh, he's the best.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to go to Universal Studios with us.
Oh, that would be so fun.
He doesn't seem like a guy who loves Harry Potter, but I love Harry Potter.
And he loves you.
I'm a Hufflepuff. What are you?
I'm a Hufflepuff. Da-da.
Are you being for real?
Yeah.
Don't play my emotions. Do you
What,
always
what
do
do you
this
think
stuff?
I am? We're literally the same person. Like, why are you even asking that? Yo, what's up? Okay,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
no.
Well, it's my awkward left hand. All right, it was
For
this
those of
way.
you who didn't see that, Ben just tried to dab me up, and then he didn't do the fist bump.
You didn't do the secret handshake.
Well, I was worried because my rings. I didn't want to hurt
No,
you.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, later.
We'll call that neutral then.
Right. Okay. We're even.
I didn't dab you up, and you forgot the secret handshake.
I didn't forget. I just didn't want to. I got some powerful rings on, man.
Yeah, you do, and they're all matching too.
Yeah. I got this one on spring break.
Oh, it looks nice.
$4. Really
Oh.
cute.
Hey, that's a cute jeans there.
Cute G.
Cute jeans ring. Golly. So yeah, what were we saying?
About Caleb, the people that have complimented
yeah.
your episodes.
It is fantastic. I love him
Yeah.
a lot. Also, Hufflepuffs.
Oh.
That was what I was thinking. I did take the Pottermore. So I've always been like, I feel like I'm a Hufflepuff, kind of cray, kind of creative, Cedric Diggory for life. Let's go, Honey Badgers. And so I felt like I'm a Hufflepuff, and I took the quiz the other day just to like confirm it on Pottermore, and I got
Gryffindor.
Ravenclaw.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 And so I was very confused
Yeah.
about it. And
Maybe you've changed.
I think maybe I have. I am a doctorate,
Yeah.
and I do like to. I think I have some wisdom.
Yeah. Ravenclaw's, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
It's different, but it's not
it's a
bad.
different color scheme that I was expecting, but
Can I tell you what test I just took the other day?
what's that?
Spring break. We go. I've never once seen the entire Hunger Games series all the way through. Never
Okay.
once. It's been out for like 11 years.
The books or like the movies?
All of the above.
All of the
I'm
above,
not
okay.
much of a reader, as we all know. Ben has called me out before.
Yeah.
I kind of want to read them now because I went with a bunch of girls that are like full on Hunger Games, like they love it. So we were watching the movie and they were explaining everything to me because like I kind of need a little explanation. And so they were like telling me stuff and they're like, in the book though, this happened. I was like, ooh. So I kind of do want to read the book now, or like all of them. But anyway, we're like fourth movie in. Are there four? There's four.
Yeah, it's Hunger Games,
Catching
Fire, and then Mockingjay Part 1, Part 2. Yeah.
Well, they're coming out with a new one. Have you heard of this?
What?
They're coming out with like a prequel, and
Is
it
it
goes.
called the Starving Games or?
No, it goes into everything about Snow, President Snow, and how he became, and like how the Hunger Games like became. So it goes into his life, which is really interesting. So that's why.
Well, it predates Snow though, because it's the 75th Hunger Games. He's not.
Oh well, then maybe it doesn't go into the Hunger. I know
how
it goes
he
into
became into power, maybe. As
maybe I don't know
president.
something about his backstory.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they're leaving it open to even do another one for
The
creation
creation
of Hunger Games. I don't know.
gotcha.
But anyway, they had us do a test to figure out which Hunger Games characters we were. I got
Which one?
pita, but
Pita?
yeah. But
Did
then
you love bread?
I do love bread and I love baking. However, everybody else got pita also, so we think it was a little rigged.
We're just a house full of pitas.
We were like, I'm pita. No, I am pita. No, I'm pita.
We used to do back when I was in college. We had, and I don't know if anybody listening does this stuff too, like with a group of friends. But we did a who would win Hunger Games. There was like maybe like 12 of us in there, and they were all like, "Oh, this person would win. This person would win," and I was just like, "I would kill every single one of you. Like, don't think you could beat me." Like, and then I was like, wait, hold on, that's not a brag. Like, but it was just like, oh, so and so is like really clever, and they can like outsmart you. It's like, no, I'm District 1, which is the capital.
Yeah.
Where they have like the trained, like that's the
Like the
guy.
careers.
There's a Kodo or something. Where he's like, the careers, to volunteer and do it. And every year those guys like pretty much win.
Yeah.
And then it just happened to be that Katniss can shoot a bow and arrow or whatever. And Peeta just happens to be stronger. Like he's a super soldier, 4 times stronger than everybody. But anyways, I was like, I would destroy you.
No, for sure.
How would you do?
I feel like I could hold my own for a little bit, and then I feel like I would get in my head too much, and I'd be like, oh, this isn't good, and then I'd like psych myself out, and then like end up just dying.
This is how I see it. If you and I were both in Hunger Games, right?
Oh.
Like, okay, alliance, like day 1, let's do this.
Duh.
And I'm knocking people out.
Right.
Boom, sword, axe, whatever.
Right.
Grenade launcher. I don't know.
Trip table.
What's a trip table?
Like I go stand behind them and I go down on all fours and
I push them over
push
you.
them over. We do that to all of them.
They hit a rock with their head and
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
got 'em. And they're going to be like, hey, Sydney, there's only like 10 people left. You're like, well, that's close enough. And I turn around and you're like, I think you would kill me.
No,
Like,
me. I
yes,
would kill you.
you would betray me.
No. I think you would sacrifice yourself for me. I think you would be like, I feel like you're pretty selfless. Well,
no, I would. For you,
I feel like you would help me get down to less and less people. Then you'd be like,
I would
all
be
right,
looking for
Sydney.
berries, and you're like, no berries needed. Just stab yourself. I'm like, yeah, but we have berries. We can like trick the game. Like, oh, we're both going to eat them. You're like, no. I don't want them to call my bluff. Bye. Or like, I eat the berries, and you're like, actually, I don't want to eat them. I'm like, wait, what? You're like, all right, thanks, Sid.
See, that was one of the things in the book. The girls were saying that Katniss was like literally scraping the berries like out of her mouth, like they had eaten them. Did they? Or is that a lie?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you didn't read the books?
No, I'm not 13.
Well, they were all talking about it, and they were talking about some spoilers, and I just got up and left, and I came down like 30 minutes later, and they're still talking about all the Hunger Games, and I go, are you guys still talking, or can we like change
What were
subjects?
you doing for 30 minutes? Just
I was
sitting
just
by
on my
yourself?
phone, yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
okay.
I was on TikTok. I was like, I kind of need like a self-reflection moment.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's fine, whatever. I was like, I'll give them their time. Like, I don't want to be the person that's like, I've given it 11 years and I haven't watched a single one. Y'all can't talk about it. No, you've had 11 years. So
Yeah.
I removed myself.
Catching Fire is also
It was
really good. And I don't know if you have not seen the Hunger Game movies,
Yeah.
you should totally see it.
And then
The
Mockingjay
Woman
was
on
completely
Fire.
different. Both of them were so different from the first two movies. So I was like, whoa.
Did I say Blue Jay earlier?
No, you said Mockingjay.
I said Mockingjay.
Yeah, you were
Okay.
good.
It's been a while since I've seen Mockingjay too. And it was also kind of like weird
Yeah.
with who's the Hemsworth guy?
Liam.
Yeah, Liam Hemsworth. His character's name.
Gail.
Gale Hawthorne. I don't know why I can remember his last name, but
Gale.
not his first name. But Gale Hawthorne took like a left turn character arc wise, spoiler.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was
Maybe it's
like,
because I haven't read the books. Maybe there's
No.
more explanation to it, but I was like, that seemed a little like
Yeah.
they just wrote that for convenience sake of like
Yeah.
love interest. How do I make him not love this person?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a killer. There we go.
Yeah.
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 So on spring break, what did y'all do on spring break? Where'd y'all go?
We went to Fernandina Beach in Florida.
Wait, say that one more time.
Fernandina.
Fernandina.
Yeah. Really pretty, beautiful place. I've gone there a couple times with my family on vacation, so basically a regular. Knew all about the town.
Nice.
One of our friends has a little condo there, so we got to stay for free. It
Was it
pretty
on
nice.
the beach?
No, it was like a block away from it. So it was a quick little walk. It wasn't bad at all. So yeah, it was really nice. A lot of fun.
That's cool. Did y'all do anything like?
We went to the pool the first day, and then we went to the beach the next like 2 days. Nothing super crazy. We went out to dinner a
Any
lot.
putt-putt?
No, I haven't gone putt-putting in forever.
We
Last
didn't
time I
go.
went was with youth group, but we used to go every year for like family vacations. And we haven't gone on a family vacation in years.
Yeah. Come on, Dina. Joey.
No, she's trying. No, they try. My dad can't get off of work for the past couple times that they've tried to go, and then both my brothers are older than me, so it kind of gets more difficult to get the
All
whole
the
family.
schedules.
Yeah, with Jacob in the military too. So
Thank you for your service, Jacob. He's a
sweeping
huge
those
listener.
floors.
He wait, he's not is he a custodian?
No, he's in infantry, but he's always like, man, I want to go fight. That's why I joined, and I just sweep the floors.
Because he's learning discipline.
No, for sure.
He's preparing
He's been
himself.
learning discipline for 4 years, and his contract's almost up, and he's not re-signing.
Oh, he's
He's
not?
getting out, yeah.
He's been there for 4 years.
Oh, almost, yeah. I think it's like 3, a little over 3. He's been there.
What's he gonna do now?
Go to college, which is the whole reason that he joined the military, was so he wouldn't go to college.
My brother did the same thing.
Yeah.
He started college and was like, yeah, I'm joining the military.
Yeah.
And then he went back to college. He became an officer, though. I really wanted my brother, I love you, Will. I know you listen to the podcast. I wanted him to become a general, just so I can use that like
my brother's a general.
my brother's a general. What does your brother do?
Well, Jacob's pretty good. Like, whenever he talks about stuff, he always sounds like he ends within, like, top 10, 15% of things.
Of the whole army?
Of, like, his brigade.
Okay. I was
Like, or whatever's, like, the big, I don't know, platoon.
Platoon. Nah, brigade's bigger than platoon.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
the
think it's
brigade.
within, like, the bigger section of
Yeah.
things. And he sounds like he does pretty good, which is kind of ironic because
Yeah.
he's a little scrawny. Like he's not super. Like you don't
He's
look
the-
at him. You're
he's
like,
got the
oh,
brains,
he
though.
does
He's
have
sharp.
the brains. PETA.
Yeah, he's
If
PETA.
you-
Well, he's not PETA. PETA's strong.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
but PETA doesn't look very strong. That's all
No,
edited.
oh my gosh! And the actor is shorter than
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence too.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. Listen. Can I tell you about a cool trip?
Oh,
I want
tell
everybody
me.
to listen to
Yeah.
this. I went to California.
Right. How
Right?
was
Like,
it?
are you saying right? Like you knew that? Did you know?
I
went
did
to
know that.
California? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
You Snapchatted me in California with a location that said California.
like in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. I did do that. And then listen to this. This is the first thing. So I get to California. I land there. I'm in the airport. I have to wait in the airport for 2 hours.
Oh yeah. On your way there.
On the way there.
Okay.
Because I'm waiting for my 2 friends to arrive, Thomas and Will. Shout out to them. And I land there, and I'm sitting just in this corner, charging my phone, just kind of like hanging out.
Right.
And this guy comes up to me, who's a worker there, like works there. He has like all the airport stuff. And I thought maybe I'm in trouble or something. And he goes, "Hey man, you in those movies?" And I was like,
Oh no.
Like I looked at him, I was like,
Who do you think you were?
"Yeah, what movies do you think I was in?" And he was like, "The Sixth Sense." And I was like, "What? I was not in The Sixth Sense." Like what? Like he was like, "What's that actor's name?" I was like Haley, like Joel Osborne, or I can't remember what his name.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's like, "You're that guy, aren't you?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And right now, I'll practice in my editing. This is what he looks like. All right, now the picture's down. All right.
Wait, can I Google it?
Yeah, you can Google it if you want. And or I have it here. I took a picture of it.
Okay, yeah.
And
I'm
you
really
could-
excited.
And I've never been. And he was like, I was like, "No, I'm not that guy. I'm just here on vacation."
I'm not that guy.
This is him right here. I mean, does he kind of look like him a little bit?
A little bit. I could see from
I
the
thought
distance.
a little more like that when I had my longer hair,
Yeah.
which is Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
By the way. Anyways, oh wait, Paul McCartney. All right, now Paul McCartney's out. I don't know if you've watched the episode with you and Garrett, but I popped up all the pictures.
Really?
It took me a while to
He
do,
texted
but
me and asked me for them, and I was like, I know exactly where this is going.
You knew why I was asking for
Oh,
the
I
pictures?
knew why. He texted me, he goes, "Hey, send me a pic of you as Psy and of you as Guy Fieri." I said, "Here you go."
Without question, she just sent it. I was
Just
like,
send
nice.
him.
So, anyway, so I got mistaken for that guy. The
That's
Sixth
kind of cool,
Sense
though.
kid.
You should have said yes. Why did you go along with it?
Because
You could have given him an autograph.
I probably could have, or taken like
He
a
would have
selfie
gone to the
with him.
Pawn Stars or something and be like, "Dude, like,
Yeah,
I
met
got
the
this."
Sixth Sense kid, dude.
They're like, "This
Well,
is
then
fake."
he was like, "And you were in that thing recently, like on Amazon Prime." I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't even know." Now I'm like, now I don't know. I don't know my filmography. I don't know my IMDb. So that was my first experience in California.
Well, you just know this poor man was probably sitting at his little desk or something, just staring at you like, "I know him. Let me go ask."
Well, and it's funny because he could have walked away and was like, well, he did walk away, but walked away and was like, he freaking lied to me. I knew
Yeah,
this. Like,
I knew that was you.
like typical celebrity. Won't tell me who he is.
Yeah.
So I got mistaken for that guy, and then
That's
they
so
land
funny.
and we go, and everybody's staying in this hotel for the most part. Although I was there for a bachelor party, but it's also a bachelorette party. Right?
Okay.
So it was like the bride and groom both
whole
did it, like
thing,
kind of
okay.
conjoined it. So it was like 15 of us total.
Okay, fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. And they stayed in a hotel, but me and the 2 of the friends from the hometown of Dahlonega, way too poor to stay in that hotel.
Right.
So we found it, or Thomas, shout out Thomas, found an Airbnb, and we stayed there. Well, the hotel was pretty, like, it was on this island called Mission Island next to San Diego, which is great, but ours was like right next to the beach.
Okay.
And it was awesome. And in California too, I don't know if it's all California, but in this particular island, what they did was like kind of like, you know, like in Florida, there's condos and hotels and they're right next to the beach.
Yeah.
And like literally just like walk out and they're right there. This one has where the buildings stop and it's almost a double lane highway, not quite double lane. It's more like a 1.5 lane highway that is just a walkway. There's no cars on it. You can bicycle, rollerblade, walk on it. People have their dogs. And then there's like a little, you know, maybe 3 foot high concrete wall. And then it's the beach.
Okay.
And I liked it. I liked how there was like a separation of people can walk, do all their things, and then the beach is there versus you can't walk, you're either on the beach, you have to walk this super long sand thing to get to it. So that was really interesting and cool. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but it was fun.
Here's a picture.
I did take a picture of that, so there is no picture of that. But yeah, it was fun. It was cool. It was relaxing. Prices there were very expensive.
Oh, I bet.
Tacos were on point. Had a lot
That's
of tacos. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah. We went and got sushi our first night in Florida, and it was really good.
Was it really?
It was really good, and the prices were really good too.
Because Florida is like...
Because it's Florida.
I know.
Yeah. Bet you wish you went there.
Well, and there was a lot of people. I say a lot. There was a good number of people, not crowded, but there was a good number of people on the beach and like more people on the walkway, exercising, walking. But not a lot of people in the ocean.
Oh, none. I didn't see any in Florida. It was cold.
It was cold. It was March.
Chilly.
We also got to see what they did Top Gun. Have you seen Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick?
Yes.
That's in San Diego.
San Diego. Right in it.
I also made San Diego jokes multiple times, and not a lot of people got it.
No.
You know, do you get it?
No. I just thought it was funny.
It's from a movie. It's German. You should look it up later.
Okay.
San Diego. And so I'm in San Diego and love it, crush it, and got to see the Top Gun stuff, see what they like did their... I mean, we didn't see like the jets in the air, but we saw the boats and the carriers and stuff. It was
That's
sick.
cool.
And then on the way back, I had a layover flight in Seattle.
Oh.
So was
it raining?
It was not raining. It was cold, but it was not raining.
It wasn't raining? Does it always rain in Seattle?
They're always sleepless in Seattle. That's a movie. That's a bad joke. Sorry.
If Nathan were here, he would have been laughing.
Nathan, stop laughing, dude.
He got it.
He's off camera. You can't see him. He's laughing. Nathan, really stop, dude. Too much laughing. Don't force it. But no, it normally is raining. Yeah, you're correct. It's normally like a rainy place.
You know how I know that? Because Grey's Anatomy is filmed in Seattle, or it's like takes place there, and it's always raining in every single episode. I'm sorry. Anyway, your layover flight.
Well, I was going to ask, does it count that I've been to Seattle if I'm in the airport but don't leave the airport?
You've been there, but I wouldn't say you've like experienced Seattle. But you've
so I can say
your being has physically been to Seattle.
And
that's not a lie.
And I did buy a Seattle sticker.
So there you go. You've been there. You're practically a resident.
I literally have a house there.
Widowy.
Yeah, Wibbly. Wibbly, I have a house there. I did not say that. Wibbly, have a house there. And you're not invited because you're too much sunshine for all the rain that we have. Because you're cutie jeans.
You're cute.
Right? Is that, I don't know if I use that proper context.
You're cute jeans.
Oh, cute jeans, not cutie jeans, just cute jeans. Oh, okay, there's cute jeans and then you're cutie jeans. You're like the next
It's a different level, right?
Yeah.
You're cutie jeans.
Oh, man. Anyways, I digress.
Sorry.
Oh, it was great. It was fun.
Good. You were there for, then you got back to Atlanta, and you were in Atlanta for a while.
Oh my! First of all, great memory.
I know. Well, because I almost was like, do I need to go pick this man up? Because I was laying in my bed at Dahlonega, and it was 1 a.m, and you still weren't saved, and you're in the middle of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, and I was like, this is dangerous because apparently everyone thinks he's a celebrity, and they're gonna mug this man.
No, not in Atlanta.
Not in Atlanta.
Atlanta's rough, dude. Listen, so I landed in Atlanta at 11 p.m. Nathan, hey, what's up, Nathan?
Bro, there he is.
That's why I needed him on the podcast. Was my ride.
Okay, makes sense.
So it makes sense, right? So he definitely planned to be there about 11:30.
Right.
Well, he's on his way, and shout out to Lou. Lou was with him. Love her. She's the best. She's been on the podcast. She's the 5 Mu.
I met her finally.
Yeah,
officially.
LIOB. You know what I'm saying?
LIOB. Yep.
All my 5 Mus.
You can literally Google that.
Okay, but
No, it's special only you know it.
Oh, yeah, and 5 Mus.
And 5 Mus.
Basically a 5 Mu. Anyways, stop it. I feel attacked. Anyways, Lou was there, and I love her. But on the way there was this massive car wreck.
Oh, no.
And so traffic just stopped.
Yeah.
And so that's why they were late. And I was like, oh, crap. So I'm in I went through security. I was at baggage. I didn't have any bags. But the only restaurant open was Burger King. And I'm on kind of California time, which is 3 hours behind. So it was like, 10, 9, 8-ish there, and I haven't ate dinner yet. So I'm kind of hungry. So I go to Burger King, super long line. And I get there. And this Burger King is probably the most sketchy Burger King in the airport. Not just because it's in the airport, but the airport Burger King is the most sketchy place I've ever been.
Right.
And I ordered my food. It was pretty quick. And this lady was just like calling out, like, just kind of angry with life. You could just tell she was angry.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this alarm goes off. And I had a video of it. I don't know if I Snapchat it to you, but it was like, this is the airport security. This is a alert for everyone to be on, on their toes or something.
Yeah.
We will let you know if you must evacuate. But until then, be alert. Something like that. And I was like, wait, what? And everybody, when it first went off, everybody's kind of looking at each other like
who got a gun?
Like, do we leave?
Yeah.
And it's like, are we about to get bombed?
Dang.
Is it like, what's going on? Like, and this alarm's just going off. But no one really does anything. And so we're like, all right, so I guess we're just going to sit here. So we did. And then I was going through Burger King line, and I asked the guy at the register, I was like, hey, man, what's this alarm going off? He goes, man, that thing goes off about once a week, and I guess tonight's the night. It's going to go off. Ain't nothing happened so far, so I guess we're good. Like, kind of was like, okay. And so I was, all right, so I didn't think the alarm was dangerous. And then she goes, order number 146, and, like, drops the bag. Like here to, like, grab it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I grabbed the bag, and she's like, why are you snatching that bag? I was like,
It's my food.
Because you handed it to me and called my number and set it down. She's like, well, I guess you don't want any ketchup. And then she like goes to grab ketchup. I was like, I don't want ketchup, actually.
Did I ask for it?
But next time, I was tired, and I will say I was probably in the wrong of this. I was like, but next time, if you want to put ketchup in it, maybe don't set the bag down and call the order number. And she looked at me and she goes, well, aren't you just a sassy pants tonight? I said, yeah, I'm just tired. And she was like, okay. And like kind of give me like this like little like
respect, little respect.
Yeah. Because I think she was like trying to give it, so I kind of gave it back too.
Yeah.
And mine came off a little more rude than sassy, but I think she had a crush on me.
Absolutely.
Because she was like, all right.
I think the guy asking you if you were in the movies probably did too.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm done with you. Oh my gosh.
Can I just say,
I had double crushes.
That's because you're cute jeans.
Don't say it unless you mean it.
You're cutie jeans.
No.
Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, whatever it's called, that airport, busiest airport, I believe, in the world.
Yeah. That's what.
So really, really brave of you, honestly, to be there.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
I've gone there quite a bit in my day. My dad's from New Jersey, so we fly a lot. So
Jersey.
From the Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. This is Sydney. She's from Jersey. Was that not good?
It was great.
I was doing a Russian accent today for like an hour.
Okay, go on.
No. I can do it on the spot. Hold on.
I did it for an hour, but I can't do it for a few more minutes.
Tell your Jersey airport story.
I don't even really have.
I'm practicing off my Russian thing.
I do have this one story. One time, my brother, who is now in the army, we went to mumbling in Russian.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, well, let me tell my story because now I'm into it.
Okay, go ahead.
We were leaving for New Jersey this one particular
Jersey,
day.
please.
Jersey. Well, the day before.
Do the whole, please. No, if you don't do the whole story,
I can.
Just be bold. Jersey. She's from Jersey. She's telling the story just like this.
Anyway, the day before we go, I can't. That's not good. Anyway, my brother goes and they're like outside on our trampoline, like jump, like having fun, whatever. Jacob decides to do a front flip off the trampoline, breaks his foot. The night before, we're going to be at Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport. The whole name. Yeah. Breaks his foot. They go to like the ER that night. Gets it all like bandaged up. He couldn't be in a cast yet because it was literally that night. We were going the next morning. So he is hobbling on crutches through the airport. It was awful, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, did he have a middle seat?
I can't remember.
Because
I'm
I
sure
had a
out
middle
of
seat
all
and
five
it
of
was
us, we
the
probably
worst.
did. They probably put him in the aisle.
Did they?
Well, there's 5 of us, so there's going to be 3 and then 2, so we're always going to have an aisle and at least probably both middle seats.
Dude, that kind of reminds me. So on my way, because I rode 3 flights.
Okay.
One to San Diego, one to Seattle, then Seattle to...
Why aren't you doing this in your Russian accent?
Well, this is my Russian word, debut. Debut. Reservoir Dogs is a movie that Quentin Tarantino debuted his directorial role. I drink vodka, and I play with Siberian tigers. I'm from Soviet Russia. I don't know if that sounds good at all. I don't know. This is debut movie.
Not the tigers. I found a zoo today.
Wait, was that sound anything remotely like Soviet? Oh, yes. Because so today we're playing trivia.
Okay.
And the question was like, whose directorial debut was
Debut.
the Reservoir Dogs? And I was like, debut, Reservoir Dogs. You are American dog. This is Soviet. We are
That's
superior
really
country.
good. That's actually really good.
Is it? I
Yeah.
don't know. Rocky Balboa
Rocky. I love Rocky.
will be destroyed by
used to watch all
Ivan
those
Drago.
movies.
He is a Soviet hero.
That's really good.
Is it?
Yeah. It was kind of not at the beginning,
Oh.
but now it's really good now. I'm
Dude,
actually
oh
impressed.
my gosh, whatever, dude.
It's really good.
This Joyzy accent. I like, Joyzy show on Snooki. Okay. Is that Snooki, was it?
Snooki, yeah.
Or Snooki?
Snooki? Snooki.
I don't know. I like
Something.
cookies, yeah.
I like cookies.
But okay, so I'm getting there on the plane, right? On the ride, on the flight there. And there's this lady. Stop, I gotta tell this story because she threw me off.
Okay.
And she goes up there and they're like, and first of all, when you ever fly, those who fly a lot, in case you don't know, they're like first class, diamond club, platinum club, sky plus plus, sky plus plus, sky plus, sky, da da. All you regular poor people. It's like, oh, cool, thanks, that's me.
That's me. There I go.
So it's like all these different levels that they go on Delta. Well, they call first class / veterans with active IDs or something like that, or active military. And so this lady walks up and was like, here, like kind of like does like, this is my thing. And the guy's like, sorry, this is not first class, man. She's like, well, why isn't it? And it was like, because it's not like it's not purchased that way. And she's like, ugh.
It's
And so
not
then she like
purchased
kind of like stands,
Right.
And then they're like, the next, I think it's like diamond something. She's like, eh. And the guy like before she even got it, he was like, you're not diamond either. You're just general boarding.
Right.
Like go back. And she got all tiffy, and then she started like speaking in some foreign language, like
Oh.
da 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 da. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, there's always that one crazy person.
Yeah.
On the airplane.
Always.
Then general boarding came. I get on. I'm the first one there.
She's right next to
I
you.
get a middle seat. Well, no one's next to me.
Okay.
So I'm like sitting there in the middle seat. I was like, all right, whatever. They're like, ding, the flight for this San Diego flight is full. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh gosh, whatever. This like super nice, sweet lady comes, sits next to me. I'm like, hey, I'm Ben. I hope it's gonna be a good flight. Obviously I'm talking to everybody.
Right, duh.
That's who I am. And then the long, like all the way down, like most seats are getting full. I see that lady. I'm like, oh, dude, sucks forever that person's sitting next to because she's going to be she goes all the way to me, Sydney, and goes, I'm here. And I was like, oh, cool. Cool. Sits like right next to me. And it's just like the entire flight. She was just like, bah, 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 bah. She had
she's
two
talking
cell
to you?
phones. No, she was like talking to somebody. And then she was like doing like voice memos, but in a language that I don't know. But she had two cell phones, and I'm not saying that people don't like have two cell phones, like a work phone and like personal phone. But this was like kind of like a sketchy phone, like a burner phone, and like a regular phone. And I'm thinking to myself, this person's doing something. I won't speculate, but
we
she a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Something.
No,
I don't
for
know.
sure.
And she sat next to me, and it was a pretty awkward 4-hour flight.
Yeah.
So I would recommend if you ever fly to pay the whatever $10, $15 to get seat selection and choose a window seat.
Yeah.
Window or nothing.
Window or nothing, right or
Because
die.
a window you can lean against.
Yeah.
You can put a little pillow or just like have some space and see all the cool stuff outside.
I love a window seat.
Or even the aisle seat. You can kind of lean that way.
Yeah.
You don't have the headrest
right.
that you do for a window, but at least you have something in the middle. Nope. Sucks to suck. Your knees are touching everybody, your elbows. Yeah. It's like, man, it's the worst.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. I'm sorry.
Anyways,
At least you're safe.
Yeah, I was.
Got back good.
It is true. Yeah, I got back good.
You got back in. You got back and you're good.
That North Georgia education. Nighthawks, baby. Ah, dude. Okay. I know if you're listening to the podcast, we're all over the place, and that's
Yeah.
totally fine because we do what we want. It's my podcast.
Period.
Get over it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
I told some of the Bachelor people the story
Yeah.
about the Nighthawks, and every time I walk into the room, they'd be like, ah, 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 ah. And I'm like, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? So like,
We're bringing it back.
yeah. Oh, well, none of them go to North Georgia, but
okay.
it was
Today,
it was funny.
this guy was walking past me, my friend, and she was wearing a Auburn shirt, and he was like, I really like that shirt. She was like, oh, thanks. And he goes, go War Eagles. And her and I both at the same time went, cacao. So it was like 4 War Eagles, but like, because I told her the story. She was the one.
Oh, does she? Okay.
I sent Ben a video today of me showing one of my friends. She was listening to the podcast. She brought it up to me.
Oh.
I didn't even show her. And so she was like, because I've told her all about it. But she brought up a different part of the podcast. It was the one with me and Garrett and you. And she was like, I listened to your podcast today. And I was like, because like, I tell people, I'm like, oh my gosh,
No,
like Great White
you
Buffalo.
do not promote my podcast
I do.
at all.
I do
Every
because
time I post a story or a post about it, you never share it. You
I
never do
don't. This
anything.
is true. However,
And you're very popular.
I'll repost. Okay, but
You heard that
I
here,
s-
folks. You heard that here.
I'll repost it right after this. I sit here though, and I Snapchat people, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you recording something?" Yeah, a podcast. What is it? Great White Buffalo. Go watch it. Do that all the time.
I'm at 106 subscribers.
Yeah, 95 of those are from me.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
no,
just kidding.
Tomorrow, or when you repost this,
Yeah,
if I don't get at least 10 subscribers,
fake. All fake.
Fake.
Right. Okay. I'll put the
I
link
bet-
in our Find You group chat too.
no
Oh,
way.
Wait, that's
please.
No, I
please.
literally will.
Because Madison's been on it.
yeah.
Shout out to Madison Brown.
Shout out Madison.
And Michaela, but she's not in that group chat.
Right.
She's not active.
Yeah.
And then we had Alex, Lou, Sarah Kate.
Lou, when I had
So
gone
many
to
Five
something
Muses.
with Nathan
We're
and
sponsored.
Lou, like with the church, and that's when I first officially met Lou, and I was like, I was supposed to do a podcast because all 4 of us were supposed to do a podcast
Yeah, that's
one day,
right.
and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
didn't end up going. And so more formally introduce ourselves, and I was like, I'm in Find Me right now, and she was like, oh my gosh, and she was like, I told Ben like LIOB, and I was like, I know. She's like, I want to do something like simple that like wasn't too serious, and I was like, yeah. I was like, next time, like, we need to tell him something that's like so fake, and like you just tell me, and like I'll tell Sarah Kate, so we'll act like it's legit.
Oh, the worst.
And then it just won't be. But she was really funny about it.
No, she's
Love
the
her.
best.
Yeah.
Wait, so you met her? Like, you
Yeah,
got to
it was just briefly, like literally maybe like a 4 or 5 minute conversation. It was at
that warms my heart.
the church, the revival at
Oh,
that
the
church.
revival. Yeah.
That's
I
where it
forget
was.
that you have 2 church fams now.
I
whatever.
do.
Ugh, split
More
child.
love. You know, it's all about growing, and that's what I'm doing a lot right now.
How are you growing? How do you feel like you're growing?
Friendships. My friendships have been pretty rocky, and that's always been a struggle for me. I feel like that's a
Not
common...
Balboa. Different Rocky. Hey, full circle. Debut album. Rocky represents American pride.
Anyway, no, but I'm kind of finding my place in college and in my life where I want to be at, and surrounding myself with people that are pouring into me. So
How do you feel like, let me ask you this, because I think when people listen to these podcasts, when we talk about kind of on deeper issues, spiritual issues, is we talk about people pouring into us.
mm-hmm.
Everybody has the capability to pour,
Right.
but you get to decide whether or not they're going to pour or not. And so how do you decide that maybe what they're pouring isn't something that you need? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Because I think we sometimes fall ourselves of like, man, like, this is pouring into me. This is pouring into me. Well, what's going on? It's like, oh, well, this third or fourth person or this third or fourth thing is actually kind of tainting the rest of it.
Yeah.
You know, or compromising it. And so you feel like you've been in a season where you kind of felt that way.
Yeah.
How did you recognize that? Did it take a while? Like, what?
I think for me, so I was, really involved with our youth group, and then moving, I kind of had to switch gears a little bit. And it was kind of difficult not having that immediate, like, family, I guess, like, that I could just always go to, like, literally every Friday fun day and Sundays and Wednesdays, like, all the time. And I was trying to kind of shift, but it just wasn't really the same. So I was like, okay, like I'll find people my age. Like this will be good too, not just like another youth group, but like, kids my age. And then
Adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm a child, but yeah, adults.
You go to adult prison.
I do. This is true. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of got in a little friendship, and I just noticed some things about myself were changing, and it wasn't anything too serious. I just noticed, I don't know, like gossiping. I would just find myself gossiping a little bit more around a certain person, or cussing. I'll be honest, I cussed more around this person too, and I was just like, those aren't like horrible, awful things, but like that's not me. That's not what I want to advertise myself as. If people, first impressions, I think that goes a long way, and I don't want to represent myself like that. I want to be a true daughter of Christ and show that and how I act. And I just noticed a lot of times when I was around certain people, I was just different, not in like a horrible way. Like I was still fun and everything, but just different. So, and then I found myself being around other people, and I was like, I like this version of me more, and they bring out this version of me more than certain people do. And so I just kind of had to, I guess, just make a choice to kind of cut people off, and not in like a really dramatic way, but just kind of slowly separate myself. And I still love them and care for them, and I would do anything for them. But I think I just had to decide what was healthiest for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's mature and that's wise. And I think when we start setting healthy boundaries, we're able to create room to grow.
Yeah.
And Jesus was the first to set boundaries. Like, I want you to live within this fence. Do whatever you want as long as you're within this fence.
Right.
Adam and Eve, do whatever you want, just don't do this.
Right.
And so sometimes we fall in this, well, we're doing the thing they told us not to.
Yeah.
And so you're creating healthy boundaries, healthy relationships, and I've been walking with you for a while.
Yeah.
With your life, and been a huge fan of yours. I subscribed day one to Sydney's channel, and I have seen a lot of growth and a lot of maturity with you.
Thank you.
And still growing.
Oh, absolutely. There's always room. Yeah.
But I think there's moments where I've seen you go, like, bump you. I am who I am. I'm going to do whatever I want. And then you take a second and go, well, wait a minute. I'm just like, this is actually not what I want to be, because I realize, like, people look up to me. I realize that I feel God tell me to have certain standards for myself that I'm not fulfilling. And I always have to be careful, because I don't want to call you out, because if I call you out too much, you might be like, screw Ben.
Yeah.
I need
you out of spite.
I need you at this podcast. So
yeah,
it's like,
no, for sure.
You do whatever you want.
Well, this makes some real good episodes. Yeah. I could go on for days about it.
You could.
I feel like I could.
I did a message not too long ago about value. And one of the things that I really love about it is sometimes we talk about our self-worth, we talk about our identity, and this is where, Nathan, you're missing out on a spiritual topic here, but you just pray about it, and think about it, and talk to us later. But one of the things I love is, like, John chapter 4, there's this woman goes to the well that Jesus is at, and Jesus engages her and talks to her, which was like super culturally, like, she was a Samaritan, he was a Jewish man, it like didn't happen. And so that was like first, like, him engaging, and she was shocked by it, which I thought was really like kind of like, what's going on? And I wish I don't have my Bible in front of me, but there was a verse that really stood out to me. I'm trying to remember what it was, but Jesus is basically engaging this woman, and society has deemed her beneath them. She's not valued. She is not worthy. She has a past. She has all these things that she's done. And yet they also have a cultural, separation. Right. And Jesus, and she's a woman.
Yeah.
And guys and women are thought a little less than.
Right.
I say a little, probably a lot less than at that time. And yet Jesus engages her and says that she has value and to follow the one true God in her. And I know I'm paraphrasing because I don't have my Bible in front of me. But I just thought that was a really good indication for us as readers to go, Jesus saw or sees value in us. And that is our Lord and Savior, our Messiah, the King of Kings, the Prince of Peace. He's on the throne. He is the one that's the shepherd of our lives and says, we have value. And if you are my creation and you're my follower, what gives you the right to devalue what I say has value?
Right.
And there was this analogy that I saw online that I thought it just played right into it. It had a water bottle, just like a regular, like, regular
Spring water.
Yeah, spring water,
yeah.
Deer Park, something like that. And so it had it like Costco, 25 cents, Walmart 50 cents, gas station $2, and it's the same water bottle each time. And then it had like restaurant $5, airport was like $7, which is true. Airport's very expensive. And then like Disney was like $10. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like the water didn't change. The
Right.
packaging didn't change, but yet the where it was at said what the value was.
Right.
And yeah, I know from an economic standpoint, like I want that 25 cent, 50 cent water, not the $10 water. But from a spiritual standpoint, how many of us are in a community or even with ourselves treat ourselves like we're 25 cent water?
Yeah.
When really we could treat ourselves and be around people who treat us like we're $10. Like, does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like we fall in this trap where if I'm hanging out with people or I'm plugged into a small group or I'm plugged into some community or some club or church or whatever, and I start seeking that, man, I feel like I'm in 50 cent water territory when really I should be in $10 water. Or if I'm speaking things about myself and it's like, no, ma'am, or no, sir, I have a $10 water bottle. Jesus said so.
Right.
Right. And I think when we start doing that, we start creating habits of speaking life. We start seeing ourselves as who God called us to be. And we can fulfill that calling.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but
No, I think it's really good.
do you ever fall in that trap of treating yourself like you're a 50 cent bottle of water?
Yeah. I feel like I did I mean, I go through different seasons, and I think I've done it previously and caught myself, and then, I have a whole moment and spiritual reawakening, and I'm all good, and then have a little downfall again. And just different seasons have different moments, but I think at the end of the day, I always go back to the same certain people that kind of pick me up and treat me like the $10 bottle. And yeah, thanks.
What's up?
That's what's up. So yeah, I'm really feeling good about where I'm at right now. My friend group right now is pretty solid. So loving life.
And it's not just like it's the other groups too, like you
Right.
know, like it's the church, it's the
Oh yeah.
sorority.
Oh, that's something that I've
It's
kind of
like-
noticed. Like I think recently I've kind of put myself, almost like blocked myself off. Like I had like, certain friends, and I was like, I'm good. Like this is all I need. I'm set. And then I realized that wasn't really the case, and I had kind of separated myself from a lot of other people and like kind of blocked myself out from different crowds. And I think other people kind of weren't like intentionally like not including me, but I think they were like, oh, well, she's with this person, or she's, because that's probably what I was doing. And then it got to a certain point where I was like, I don't really want to constantly be with, one or two people. So I think I've also kind of realized it's okay to have like multiple different friend groups that are for different things. I have my sorority friends, I have my church friends, I have my church youth group friends, my hometown friends. And I think that's healthy too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It's just, I just hate the fact that we live in a world sometimes where people get joy out
Right.
of making people feel like they're less than.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, lift them up, man. Live in a world where everybody's a $10 bottle of water.
Well, I think that's another thing. Like when you start viewing yourself as a $10 bottle, like it's easier to see like good parts of other people that'll help you view them as that too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's true too. Because if you expect that, you should be given that.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's something with my friend groups that I've realized. And like for me, I didn't think I was like I'm gonna get into some love languages. I didn't really think I was a words of affirmation type of person until I never received those. Do you think I am?
Well, I've given you words of affirmation since the day that I've met you.
You have, but I think you're a words of affirmation type of person, so you
I
give them because
give
you
it.
want to receive them.
No.
No, not that. You're very good at words of affirmation. I think that's why I thought that I never really needed it, because you were so quick to give them to me. And I was like, okay, like I had people in my life that were just,
Right,
that just gave them. So I didn't really.
That's what I'm saying, because I always felt like when you were in your low points, or going through something, and maybe it's just because that's what I'm naturally like to give.
You're very gifted.
I was like,
in
I'm
that.
going to speak words of affirmation
Right.
into her. I want to speak life into her.
Right.
Because it's like, it's not just quality time. It's not just physical touch or just like, acts of service.
Right.
Like, I want to speak life into
Yeah.
her because I think sometimes you're your biggest disaffirmation.
Yeah.
But are you saying that you like to receive that or give that?
I think so. I think both. I think I have a lot of like I think I'm pretty even with a lot of the love languages, giving and receiving. But I think with certain people it's different. But I think with my particular old friend group, it just I would do things and not get any recognition for them. It wasn't even like you're a really cool, sweet friend. It was like, can you just say thank you every once in a while? Like I feel like I do stuff and like I'm not expecting like you to give me the world, but like just some acknowledgement that like I've kind of helped you or like done some things that I don't know, I feel like were helpful.
I want to say thank you for painting this, and thank you for creating this right here too. Thank you for this cup.
Stop. But you've already done all that. Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like the second you're so appreciative of everything. I mean, just friendship. Like I've left the podcast before, and you've texted me, oh, thanks. I know that took some time. Like thank you for that. Yeah. So I mean, it's just little things like that. Like it takes hardly any time to do that, and it means the world. So I don't know. I feel like I got in a little area where I would give it and like not even get it back. And I'm not, it's fine if I don't, you don't always get what you give, whatever. But now with some of my new friends, I feel like I don't do this all the time, but like sometimes I feel like if I'm really thinking about a person in my life, I'm like, I haven't really thanked them for being in my life in a while. And I'll send them like a little, hey, thank you, I love you, like kind of a little paragraph text. And I've done this with like a couple friends before, not really ever, I'm like, they'll be like, oh, thanks, cool, like whatever. But it's never really like they think to do it to me. And just the other day, one of my friends sent me one, and I was like, it just made my heart so happy because her and I have kind of like rekindled things, and it was just so like kind of a God moment because I was like, this is kind of what was like an issue in some of my past friendships, and now it's just like a full 360 because I'm like, I've just noticed things that I've been kind of praying for, and like here they are. I'm like, oh, it's just so beautiful. I don't know, because I'm around people that are treating me like a $10 bottle, and then it helps me be like, I am a $10 bottle.
Heck yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite love language? If you don't know, there's 5. I think there's a book. It's like 5 of them. There's acts of service. There's gifts. There's physical touch. There's words of affirmation and quality time.
Yeah. My least favorite.
I think the book says like we have there's one that we like to give and one we like to receive,
right?
And we do dabble in all 5.
I think I'm very in sync with myself with all 5, but I think the one that I do the least and I think receive the least, so that's why I'm like it's fine. Like I don't give it, I don't get it. Is probably physical touch. My family's not really huggers. I love to hug people.
Yeah, hold on, because you're the one that told me like, Ben, if you don't get 12 hugs a day,
you need 8 hugs a day for maintenance and 12 hugs a day for growth. And I think I seek that so much, but I never get it. So I'm like, I just don't expect it. Like it's fine. So, but when I do, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So I do love physical touch in that sense, but like, I don't know. I don't like people to be like right up on me, like sitting next to me, like super close. Like there's a whole couch, like unless it's like my mom. I don't know. I guess with certain people, that's how I am. Like certain people, there's certain different things.
Yeah, because I think physical touch, and I have not read the book in like forever, but like physical touch isn't just like cuddling or something like that.
Right.
It's like it's the handshakes, it's the high fives, it's the you're playing like I don't know, maybe like sports games. Maybe I don't know if that's really has something to do with it, but it could be you're not in a stage where you're like, if you had a boyfriend
right
or a husband, y'all might be a little more in physical touch in the sense of like when we sit on the couch to watch TV, we're like snuggled up a little bit.
Like holding hands.
Or because I know sometimes some people will like, I want to lay down, I want you to sit over there, I want my feet to like be on you.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of touch.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Not too much.
No, just enough.
a little bit. It's like, so I think there's some instances of that.
Right.
It's not
well,
just
I think
like,
that could become more, but I've never dated, so I'm
Yeah.
not like that's not. I don't really. I don't care.
Hashtag same.
Hashtag same. So I'm like, I don't really seek it because it's like if I do, it's literally just hugs, handshakes, whatever. When girls don't
Right.
we don't dab each other up. Like, I love giving hugs. Like I love a good hug. But I don't expect them all the time because people,
Yeah.
I don't know. My
We live in
family
a world
isn't.
where hugging.
I have noticed since I've like moved, I get so many hugs now from my family because like every time I leave, my mom's like, "Oh my gosh," my dad like they always hug me. I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness, I should have moved a long time ago."
Should have moved out in the third grade.
No,
you know, so
literally,
get some
I
hugs.
love hugs. Yeah. What's your least?
I think for me, mine is I don't give gifts very much.
I walked in the studio today and he had a sweatshirt for
I
me
did
literally
give you-
sitting on
I
the
did give you
couch,
a
so you
gift.
can't say that.
And I did buy
You-
the interns
You're more,
gifts.
I think you're more like intentional with your gifts. Like it's not always like some super extravagant, like super expensive thing. Like for Christmas, you got me some yarn. You got me a lot of things. I don't want to discount other things, but like some yarn, like because you know I love to crochet. And you
Yeah,
know that's
that's
gonna
it,
be
yeah.
something that I love to do. That's not like a Stanley cup that are like $40. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just more like intentional gifts.
I got a shout out Taylor Cooper. Got her a Harry Styles
Blanket. You got me a blanket
because you were also in Harry Styles back
yeah,
in the day.
love him.
So yeah, I tried to make him a little more intentional.
Yeah, and I
about
think
the
you're
gifts.
really good about that. So
Well, I tried to. I think for me, I don't. Maybe acts of service. I probably don't do acts of service, and I probably should. And the one that I do like to give, I think I speak a lot of words of affirmation.
yeah,
I think it's the one I loved, and I love to hype people up.
yeah.
And you know what? And I think I've told this story. What time is it? Okay, this is gonna be my nugget of wisdom because we're almost running out of
Don't wrap
time.
it up.
And I also wish this story was earlier on in the episode, so I made this clip this so I could tell the story. But I remember distinctly, I was in the 8th grade going to a 4-H event. My mom was driving me, and it was a statewide 4-H event. So like, I don't know, 700 people were going to be there. But no one else from Lumpkin County was going.
Oh,
So they didn't offer free transportation. So my mom had to drive me to the event.
okay.
And I was like an officer, special event. And it was the first time that I wasn't going with like people from Lumpkin
buddies,
County,
yeah.
like buddies. So like I'm I'm nervous. And my mom's like, "Hey, like I'll be back in like it's a Friday or something like that. I'll come back Sunday, pick you up." I said, "Okay." And I get out of the car and I'm like, I have my little suitcase, my backpack, and I'm like, here, I'm like,
Little
maybe
baby
7th
Ben.
grade, 8th grade. And I remember this, it is ingrained on my heart forever and always. These 4 or 5 middle schoolers were like, Ben! Ben's here! And they sprinted towards me and gave me a big old hug, like hugging me, like, dude, I'm so excited you're here. And I've never, in my entire life to that point, experienced someone being just so excited
Yeah.
that I was there, that
Yeah.
I existed. It wasn't like it was pre-programmed. It wasn't pre-planned. They didn't do that for everybody. Like
Yeah.
they did it for like some other, people that were there,
Right.
but not everybody. It just made me feel so welcomed and so radically loved that I said, I want that in my life.
Yeah.
I want to speak life into people, affirmation. And I even do it like for youth group. I don't know if you ever noticed. I try to open the
Every
door.
single time.
And I remember when I started, and I remember the very first Sunday, I'm not trying to diss anybody, but I remember everybody's just inside.
Yeah.
And I went to go, they're like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm going to
People
stay
are
at the
here.
front door.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
greet
to
'em."
welcome people.
Yeah.
And they were like, why? I remember someone, an adult going, why? Like,
Because they need to be.
because I want to welcome them. I want them to be here. Like, I
Yeah.
want to excite. I want to say hey to them. I want to put my eyes on them. I want to say their names, whatever, learn their names. And like, I remember kids would come down and be like, Sydney's in the house. Like, what's up, Sid? What's up, girl? Like, I try to remember like, yo, Colin Payne's here. What's up,
Yeah.
CK? Anyways, just trying to hype people up because I wanted them to feel like, man,
Yeah.
like be their hype person and speak love into them. And that's always affected me. Like to this day,
Yeah.
I still remember that vividly.
Well, I think it's a little domino effect because I think a lot of our leadership team at the church noticed, and we do it all the time now. You're always welcome team, like let's go, like door, and I think now you don't even really have to say like we stand at the door, like that is where the group goes. Like we love the door.
Because there was I feel like it was a couple of weeks ago. I think you were there visiting, and I was like, I had to like go do something in the closet or something. I had to go do like do something, and I wasn't at the door, and I came back, and like everybody was at the door, like almost like a little like a train, like a welcome train. I was like, sweet, like you know, we've created a culture of people.
That's just what you do.
Of what we do.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't feel like you belong, how are you going to expect anyone to experience what we believe?
Yeah.
You know.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. This is your nugget of wisdom.
My nugget of wisdom. I went on a church retreat a couple weekends ago, and I meant to say this earlier, but one of the things that the pastor there said was, you might be the only way that certain people experience God's love. And that just hit me because I was like, not everyone is introduced into that. Like, I've been so lucky to be born and raised into this religion, and it's just how it is. But I haven't, I don't know, just like moving away and like meeting people that weren't just brought into that is so amazing. And it's just so like, that's how I want to be. Like, I want to be, like you're saying, like that type. Did it turn off? Is that okay?
Yeah, no,
okay.
Yeah, it's still recording.
So I don't know. I just think that's amazing. Like, I want to be the person that people are like, she's got something. Like, what is that? And then like, I want to learn more. I don't know. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, that's a cool little motto of like, you may be the only glimpse of Jesus they get. So don't squander that.
Yeah.
You know, take that as a responsibility of sorts. I like that. Well, Sydney, I appreciate you being here.
Thanks.
I did not say this in the first minute of the episode, which I should have. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're at 106 subscribers today. Sydney's going to share. I bet we'll get a bunch. If you don't put in the 5-minute chat, I'm going to be livid. Okay?
Okay.
Take the social damage you think you're going to get, because you're not going to.
No, none.
I know a bunch of 5-minutes.
No, for sure.
I know 3. Maybe 4.
I think you know a little more.
I may know actually a little more. So put it in there.
I will.
And we'll see how many. But I love y'all for real. And thank you for subscribing on Apple and Spotify.
And Amazon.
And on Amazon Music. I am also going to do this. I haven't told you this. I'm going to start doing, we had the shorts, which are like less than a minute.
Yeah.
And then we have the episodes. Well, I'm going to start doing clips.
Okay.
So like, when we talked, like today we told a story about, I don't know, what's one thing we talked about today's episode?
Your airport story.
The airport story. Taking that like 3-minute story and making that its own video to kind of get people like hearing stories, or like Garrett's love story.
Yeah.
Boom. Making
there
that a clip.
Right.
And doing that.
Follow to see the update.
Yeah. Like, and so like people can start listening, but it's longer than a minute.
But shorter than an hour. Right.
Doing clips.
Happy
What do you
medium.
think about that?
Love it. That's when I get hooked on a lot of TikTok. You need to make a TikTok.
We have a TikTok.
Do you post like clips and stuff?
Yeah, the last one just got 1,000 views and like 200 likes.
No way.
Way.
Okay, cool.
You didn't know that?
No.
Dude,
I
our
didn't.
TikTok is like kind of blowing up right now.
No way.
And I have 2 more videos.
Did you tag me?
No, I don't.
that's why
I don't
know.
manage the TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Someone else does it for me.
You got employees.
Well, just because I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
So I asked the Wesley
He's
kid.
just a grandpa.
Shout out to Gracie. And she also makes the videos.
Okay.
She knows how to do like a zoom in thing.
Yeah.
So like when you're talking, she'll like zoom in on you.
Yeah.
And then when I'm talking, I'll zoom in on me. So she did our top 5.
Yeah.
Of one that we just did on Disney. Anyways, I'll just show it to you afterwards.
Okay.
We love you. Thank you for listening to the Great White Buffalo podcast. We'll see you next time.
Wait.
Yo.
What's the thing we were going to do? Great White Buffalo podcast with Ben Mayfield.
Peace.